And at last, our heroes, our gang members, have finally reached their final destination, which is finally to deliver Trish to the boss. Looking back on past events, this was one heck of a ride, and it seemed like they have not little to none time to relax on this adventure whatsoever. Like seriously, the minute they got on this trip, they had to deal with so much. They had to deal with not trying to deal with tiny feet, well, little feet. Then they had to go on the thing on the train, Man in the Mirror, Grateful Dead, Beach Boys, and then no matter what you did, Babyface, White Album, no matter what they did, they had to deal with all these assassins coming after them again and again and again because these assassins themselves want to take over the place. Of course, Bruno as well wants to take over the gang as well, and we get a better understanding of why he wants to. Bruno has always been a very compassionate guy, a very nice guy, very reasonable, even since as a child when he was with his mom and dad. His father wasn't really a bad dude, neither was his mom. They just divorced because I guess they just fell out of love. But nonetheless, he chose the dad. We already know why. He chose the dad not because he hated the mom or anything. He just knew that the mom was strong. He knew that mom could live on her own, and she also had better social skills. The dad didn't have any good social skills. He was a nice dude. He was a hard worker. But when it came to actually talking to people, he got kind of nervous sometimes because he was. Most fishermen act like that. They're not really good at talking to other people. That's what they like, the quietness. They like them just fishing. It's just them and the fish in the ocean or the ponds and rivers. It's peaceful, it's quiet, and it's very resolving for them. I've known a lot of fishermen in my family, and they really don't like talking to other people, only out of the blue moon. So this was very understandable. So that, of course, the father was doing his best to make sure Bruno would get into a nice, proper school, which he rightfully deserves, because let's face it, Bruno was a good guy since he was a kid, for God's sakes, man. He was reasonable, even with divorce rates and stuff like that. And I liked how he portrayed the mom. The mom wasn't a jerk or anything. She just fell out of love with the dad. She didn't betray nobody. She didn't cheat. She just fell in love, and that stuff just happens, unfortunately. And there's nothing you can do about it, really, but just to move on with your life. Anyway, so the dad was probably surprised that Bruno chose him in the first place, because he would have thought, no one would choose me, I'm not much of a good guy. He probably don't see himself as a really awesome dude, but just got his works hard and probably didn't do enough for the wife to love him. So he probably felt like as a failure at that point, but because of that, it's the reason why Bruno chose him. Bruno knows he's a strong person, a very strong-willed person. And because of that, of course, he would choose his father, because his father needed him the most. It was not which he needed for the parents, but what the parents needed for him, in a way. And the mom will be fine. As you see, she got married, and she's living happily, She would visit every so often on Christmas, and that was it. So, yeah, the mom can live on her own and continue on life. However, the father could not. And that's the reasoning of his drive to get rid of the drugs in his country. His father was shot. There's a lot of bystanders who get in the garage. Sorry, still sick. not sick, but more like mucus is coming out still. But yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, a lot of people are bystanders when it comes to drug deals. You just be walking down one day just by coincidence, You drop something, someone's rolling off, or you need to take a detour, and next you know it's a drug deal going down. You are a witness, so of course they'll go after your ass. They could threaten you, they could beat you up, or they could kill you. However, in this situation, they tried to kill the father. Which, in my opinion, is pretty dumb. To have a fisherman tourist guide that shipped you out somewhere, knowing that he would have to bring you back to do a drug deal. In my opinion, that was very stupid on those guys' part in the first place. So not only did they fail at making a proper way of getting to that island to fish, they also failed at shooting the father up. You shot the guy 7 times and he's still alive. You must really, really suck. But unfortunately, it caused Bruno have a quicker resolve. He knew those guys would come back. He knew they would come back and finish the job, to cut off the witnesses, to be no connections. But at the age of 12, he killed those dudes and defended them. He knew he couldn't turn back to life he had before, so therefore he joined a gang which he thought was full of passion, full of justice. However, justice is different within each person's eyes, as you can see. Years later, he found out that the same gang that he is working for has been distributing drugs. The same drugs that got his father killed. Because of this, well, not his father killed, but got his father's life in danger. The father did die. His injuries did cause him to live a shorter life, but nonetheless, he did survive and was able to spend much more time with Bruno, feeling proud of him. So that was nice to see. But now we get to see his resolve. We get to see the motivation, what caused Bruno to want to become the top dog so badly. Because he wants a world, well, at least his area, without those drugs, without any kind of drugs, especially giving them to minors. He couldn't stand it as well, So when he hears someone being affected by drugs, it really hits him heavily in the heart because of his past. Because he's always been a very compassionate guy. Hell, even with Triss, someone he barely knew as well, he was very compassionate with her. Triss has her own problems, Her mom died, she got kidnapped by gangsters, now assassins were after her and stuff. She doesn't really understand what's going on. And now she's about to be shipped off to his man, where she knows if he loves her or not, she doesn't know that. And that could be very scary, could make someone feel very anxious and nervous, all the same. So her worries were reasonable, understandable, no doubt. But nonetheless, Bruno found a way to comfort her. But then, we get to see one of the most controversial stands within the series. We don't get to see the boss's face. But instead, we get to see his stand first. And that happens a lot. But the boss in the show is so cautious, so paranoid of their people. He go through a lot of crazy lengths just to contact him, just to even deliver something to him. It is crazy. The guy doesn't want no one knowing his identity whatsoever, no matter what. So he created this organization. Hell, his stand is probably the reason why he's been trying to stay out of sight in the first place. And that stand is King Crimson. It just works. Tell me, when you saw him explain the power of his stand, did you understand it? Did it make sense? You saw a past version of yourself doing something, and then as you know, you get killed. You get splattered from behind. Does that make sense? Okay, imagine if you had another stand where you see a future version of yourself getting injured or killed, and you're trying to stop it, but it's too late, and then you die. Makes sense. This one is, you think you see your future self, but actually you're seeing your past self, and you die. It just works. It just works, my friend. There's nothing else to that. Oh my god. This is one of the most talked about, argued about stands of all time. People to this day are trying to explain to other viewers, to other readers, how this stand works. And probably down the line, we ourselves will understand more about King Crimson, this infamous stand, throughout time and history itself. So yeah, it seems like Bruno's in a little pinch right now. But yeah, this was a good episode though for Bruno. We get to see his backstory, his motivation, reason why he wants drugs, reason why he wants to be on to top dog, not for selfish reasons, but actually a very compassionate goal in the end, which is really nice to see. So yeah, man, it's here, people. We get to see how the final boss takes his action in the next episode. So if you enjoyed this, you enjoyed JoJo, you say, hey man, Madcrown's pretty cool when it comes to this JoJo, why not subscribe and share, and of course hit that bell icon so you get more JoJo from me. I should make more JoJo videos, like talk about my top 5 favorite stands or stuff like that, but that's a thought for another day. So anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. Madcrown out.